All right, today we're taking a close look at Mohamed Sathak AJ College of Engineering. It's located right in Chennai's Sipcot IT Park on OMR, which is a big plus. For your TNEA counseling, remember this code, 1301. So let's dive in and see what this college is all about, shall we?
So why should you even consider this college? Well, three key things really pop out. First up, it's an autonomous college. That means they have more control over their syllabus, which is a huge advantage. Second, it's a religious minority institution for the Muslim community. And third, you get this really great mix of the good old core engineering branches and a bunch of the new in-demand specializations. It's kind of the best of both worlds. Okay, so here's a quick look at what we're going to cover in this explainer. First, we'll get into the college's identity and its story. Then we'll look at all the courses and their accreditations. After that, the big one, placements and who's hiring. We'll also touch on innovation and national recognition, and finally, we'll wrap up with campus facilities and transport. Let's get to it.
All right, let's start with the basics, who they are and where they come from.
So let's get into the specifics. It's a self-financing, autonomous, and minority college. Being affiliated with Anna University gives it that solid academic foundation. But its autonomous status, well, that's a game changer, because it means they can design their own courses and exams. For admissions, you're looking at TNEA counseling. It's a 65-35 split, 65% of seats through the government quota and the remaining 35% through the management quota. The journey of this college actually starts way back in the 1970s with the Mohamed Sathak Trust. Then, in 2001, they launched the engineering college with the classic departments. And from then until now, they've just kept growing, adding all these new age courses and, of course, earning that important autonomous status. Okay, next up, let's talk about the academics. What can you actually study here? And more importantly, what are the signs that these programs are high quality? So if you're aiming for admission through TNEA, here's the number you need to know, 510. That's the total number of BE and B.Tech seats available annually. It gives you a good sense of the size of their intake each year. And wow, you've got a lot of choices here. 12 different BE and B.Tech programs in total. You've got the traditional heavyweights like civil, mechanical, ECE, and CSE, but then you also have all these exciting new fields like AI and data science, cybersecurity, and even VLSI design. This kind of balance is fantastic because it lets you pick a path that really fits your interests and career goals. You know, it's really worth pointing out this focus on new age specializations. All of these, AI and data science, cybersecurity, VLSI, and so on, were started in 2018 or later. Why does that matter to you? Because it shows the college is keeping up with the industry. These are the fields that are booming right now, which is exactly what you want to see when you're planning for your career in 2026 and beyond. Okay, a bunch of fancy course names is one thing, but how do you really know if the quality is there? Well, that's where national accreditation bodies step in. And trust me, for parents and students, this is something you absolutely need to pay attention to. Here's a big one. The mechanical engineering program here is accredited by the NBA. That's the National Board of Accreditation. It's a Tier 2 accreditation, and it's valid all the way until June 2026. This is a really strong, independent seal of approval for the quality of that specific department. And you know, the quality also shows in the leadership. The principal, Dr. K.S. Srinivasan, has a PhD in ECE. And when you look at the faculty, you see a lot of PhD holders leading the charge in important areas like VLSI design, manufacturing, and environmental engineering. That level of expertise at the top really matters. All right, let's get to the question that's on every parent's and student's mind. Placements. This is all about the return on your investment, right? Let's see the numbers. The highest salary package we're seeing here is a pretty solid 7.2 lakhs per annum, and that was for a graduate from the B.Tech Information Technology branch. Now, the highest package is great, but average salaries give you a much more realistic picture. So for information technology, the average is hovering around 4.4 LPA. Computer science and mechanical are both at about 3.6 LPA. And for the other core branches like ECE, EEE, and civil, you're looking at a range from roughly 2.5 to 3 lakhs per annum. So who's actually hiring these students? Which companies are coming to the campus for recruitment? Let's take a look. Okay, you're going to recognize these names for sure. You've got the IT giants, TCS, Wipro, HCL, Cognizant, Tech Mahindra. But it's not just service companies. You also see product companies like Zoho, which is great. And for the core engineering folks, you've got names like TBS Group, Lenovo, and Preethi. Having that mix of both IT and core companies is definitely a healthy sign. You know, a great engineering education goes beyond just academics and placements. So let's see how this college connects with the world of innovation and what kind of national recognition it's earned. So back in 2021, the college got some pretty decent national level recognition. First, the Ministry of Education's AIIRIA framework, which is all about innovation, placed them in the performer band. Then the CII-ACTE survey, which looks at how well colleges link up with industry, gave them a silver ranking. Both of these are solid indicators that they're doing something right. And this recognition isn't just for show. It's backed by some serious facilities on campus. We're talking about an RPA lab with Automation Anywhere, a lab with IIT Bombay's eEntre program, a Cisco Networking Academy, and even a Center for Industrial Robotics and 3D Printing. This shows a real commitment to giving students hands-on, practical skills. Okay, finally, let's talk about the practical stuff, the things that matter for your day-to-day student life. We're talking about campus facilities and how you get there. For students who need a place to stay, yes, they have on-campus accommodation. There are separate hostels available for both boys and girls. And a very important detail, the mess in both hostels serves both vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. And what if you're a day scholar? Well, the college has its own fleet of buses that cover key areas in Chennai and the surrounding suburbs, which is super convenient. If you're planning to travel by train, the nearest major railway station you'd use is Tambaram, which is about 15 to 20 kilometers from the campus. Just so you know, all the information we've shared today is based on what's available on the college's official website and other trusted government portals at the time we put this together. Explore more engineering colleges at profsam.com, your true source for 12th to engineering decisions.